What is up, guys? Welcome back to another long awaited video. If you've seen the rest of the videos, you know that this car has been widened by 100mm on each side of the vehicle, which is a lot, and every panel has been custom made and modified so far. The only thing that hasn't been done is the rear bumper. So in today's video, we're taking care of that rear bumper. Stay tuned. So here we have the new bumper installed. What you can see here in the middle is actually a brace because the bumper is in two pieces. It was cut in half for shipping. That made it much cheaper and easier. So that's going to be like this for a little bit until I can glue it back together. Now, looking at the shape of it, I really love this shape. This is the true WRC version. Before I had the 22B version, which was cut lower. So this is higher, allows for more airflow out of the rear bumper. And also it has these extensions right there, which are much more aggressive than on the 22B style. So I love this one a lot more. And it actually seems to fit really well around the taillights right there. So that's great. The only two issues are the width, as you can see there. And also the wheel arch is cut much wider, or there's more room for the tire, which was that way on WRC cars. But this one being more of a street car, I don't need this much room. So I'll probably end up pushing the bumper back towards the wheel a little bit to make up for that. And actually make it follow the quarter panel perfectly. Now also what's interesting to see here is the metal of the actual chassis of the car is closer to the wheel than the actual bumper. So on WRC cars they actually cut this and extend it to the bumper. But on mine, yeah, as I said, I think I'm going to keep it like this. I could actually cut this line higher. There's nothing behind there. The metal piece that goes on the wheel arch actually joins about at this height. So I do have all of this extra room to cut, but I think I prefer it this way, honestly. All right, so I guess the first step should be gluing the bumper back in one piece, and then we can take care of the width. So I'm finally done putting the bumper back together. I had to do it 3 times because for some reason I kept gluing it crooked, but now it looks really straight. Hopefully you can see it on camera. I got a piece of tape glued on here. I'm gonna have to sand it down, but otherwise it looks really, really good. And here you can really see the difference between the WRC width and the 100mm. It's quite a step, and I'm actually wondering how I'm going to bring it out enough. But I think what I'll do is probably cut it around there and then just move this piece where it should be and sort of make a smooth transition. Not sure yet. I'm gonna think about it a little bit. But otherwise, I think it looks really good and even better with the trunk closed. There you go. Boom. Now that's looking proper. The other issue that needs to be addressed is with the wheel arch. Again, as I've said, this piece is not as close to the tire as it should be, but once I actually cut it here, I can bring it where it should be and then just work on the transition. The reason why I'm not keeping this WRC spacing here is because you can see right there the chassis is actually closer to the tire than the bumper, which on WRC cars you would just cut it away. But the thing is, if I end up producing this kit for the public, I don't want something where it requires extensive chassis modification like this one. So I think it's much more practical to just bring it back aligned with the rest of the quarter. It just makes more sense in my opinion. But as you know, I keep changing my mind, so who knows, maybe in a day or two I'll change my mind and actually cut the fender higher. One quick note I must add on this Anton & Co bumper and all his parts in general, they are much higher quality than the ABW stuff. It is much stiffer, the fiberglass is just better, and it fits right away. So I'm really happy about that. But it also means that I can't really bend it into the same shape as the fender. So with ABW I just cut it, bend it around, and it worked perfectly. With this Anton & Co bumper it would be much more difficult, not only because of the shape here which adds a lot of stiffness, but also the material is much harder. So what I need to do is actually cut the bumper completely off here and then somehow mold it where it's supposed to be. So yeah, that's just a little downside on good parts like this, and it's also probably why this stuff went quite easily. So yeah, quick note, I mean, if you want to do something like this, probably go with the cheaper stuff. You're gonna cut it and mold it anyways, so you might as well get something that's cheap and flimsy. So yeah, that's it. I just thought I'd put this out there, and kudos to Anton & Co for making such good parts. As you can see, I've cut these three pieces off of the bumper, and that's how everything looks right now. On this side, I've started putting the pieces together, and I think it's going to work pretty well. I wanted this part of the bumper to be really smooth and sort of follow a single line rather than coming in and then back out with the fender. So the idea is this is just one big arc, and the top part will have to be a little bit wider to fill in this gap, but the inside will still follow that double arc from the wide body fender. So in general, that's the idea, and here from the side, I think it follows pretty well with the rest of the arch. So I'm just going to start fiberglassing this thing. I can't fiberglass from the back since this is mounted, so what I'm going to do is just put a few layers of fiberglass on the big openings, and once that's solid I can remove it, fiberglass in the back, and hopefully remove that fiberglass from the front. I hope it's not going to stick too much. We'll see about that. So the first pass of fiberglass stitching is done, and it looks horrible, but it's normal, and I really hope it works. I mean, it should work, right? So this side has been drying for a little bit longer, and it's almost done, but the other side needs probably a full night. So yeah, that's the view right now, and I think it looks super mean. It actually looks like it's going to flow really well with the body, so I'm eager to see the final product. But for now, I guess I just have to wait for this to dry. So catch you in a few days. So here's the bumper all stitched up. I still have some pretty big gaps in here and all the way there, especially across the top. But I think the shape is approximately right. So what I'm going to do now is flip it over and start fiberglassing from the inside there. So I can close all those gaps and then I can smoothen everything from the outside. So yeah, that's the game plan. Kind of the same that we did here. It's still not done, so I'm probably going to add a few layers on this as well. And catch you when that's done, I guess. Alright guys, let me show you something real quick that I think is pretty cool and I did not know if it would work or not. Apparently it does, so that's why I'm showing it to you. If you remember at the beginning I did some stitching here with some fiberglass patches, and I did not sand the surface of the bumper before doing this. I did it on purpose because now I can actually just pop my knife in there and remove it. Just like that. And it did not damage the bumper at all, so that's perfect. I was worried that it would leave some marks, but it does not. So yeah, that's a pretty easy way to just get some hold on a piece before actually fiberglassing from the back, because I did not have access to that before. So there it is. Now I can just fill it in with some body filler, and it should be good to go. You're just afraid to say times we had. I see it now, I see it now. Real love, now I break through to show to you that I'm more good than I am bad. I work it out, I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show. I've just finished another coat of body filler. It is not perfect yet. You can see some low spots here and there, and it's a bit sharp. I want to round out this edge a little bit. But overall, I think it's really, really good. It looks great from the side and super mean from the rear. I'm pretty pleased with the outcome. So I think that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. There will be a final pass on all the body stuff, like the quarter panels and the front as well. So for now, I think it's good enough, and it does fit really, really good on both sides. So you can see right there. So I think that's a job well done. Now walking towards the front, there's one more thing I want to do. Wait, by the way, here's how it looks from the front. But yeah, one thing I want to do in the engine bay. If I can open this, there we go. If you remember from the last clip, I had some power steering issues. So I just got a replacement power steering pump, and I'm gonna throw it in now, and I hope it works fine because it is used. You never know with that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna throw it in, and then we can test it again. All right, you probably saw me struggle a lot with that back bolt, and if you were in the shop, you would have heard me, but it's finally out. Check this out, old power steering pump, garbage. And here we have the new one, so I'm just gonna transfer over the bracket, and maybe the sensor should be fine, but this, yeah, I'm not trusting this wire too much. So I'll replace that, throw it back in, and then we should be good to go. All right, it's finally back together with the new pump, and this piece on this pump is actually metal. The previous one was plastic. I don't know what the difference is or which one is better, if any. So if you guys know that, please let me know in the comments. I'm always eager to learn that stuff. That was just a question that came up. Now we can actually jump in the car and turn it on. Wow, this is tight. Okay. Alright, everything seems to check out, so I'm gonna rev it a little bit, see what it does. Damn. I think that's enough. Let's see. There's definitely air in the system right now. Yeah, it's hard to tell from this. I'd really have to drive the car, but I think that's enough for right now, so let's just turn it off. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.